Leo wasn't anyone special, just a technician from Earth, working shifts on a large diplomatic space station called Unity Post 7. It floated between several major planets and served as a neutral place where humans and aliens could meet, trade, and talk politics. Leo's job was simple: repair broken panels, check power lines, and make sure food dispensers worked. Nothing exciting ever happened. But one boring morning changed everything. While sipping a lukewarm cup of synthetic coffee in the maintenance bay, Leo noticed a small blinking package on his terminal. It was labeled High Priority Cultural Exchange Program. Leo raised an eyebrow. That wasn't his department, but curiosity got the better of him. He opened the message. It had elegant golden writing, beautiful alien symbols, and one clear sentence in English. "You are invited to witness the royal ceremony on Valoria." Leo frowned. He didn't remember signing up for any cultural trip, but sometimes tourists from Earth got random invites through partner programs. He shrugged. He hadn't taken a break in months. Why not visit another world for a day? An automated shuttle was already scheduled. It would pick him up in an hour. Leo grabbed his station-approved travel bag, changed into his best work uniform, clean and wrinkle-free, and walked to the docking bay. "Have fun, Leo," one of the engineers joked. "Don't get married or anything." Leo laughed. "Yeah, right." The shuttle was smooth and silent. Within 2 hours, they arrived in orbit, around Valoria, a glowing green and blue planet with large floating cities and crystal towers that reached the sky. The shuttle landed on a golden platform where flower petals fell from above, and musicians played a soft alien melody. As soon as Leo stepped out, tall alien guards bowed to him. He blinked. Hello?" One of them smiled politely. "This way, honored guest. The ceremony begins shortly." They led him through long corridors with shining silver walls, past large fountains and statues. Alien nobles in sparkling robes watched him as he passed. Some whispered. Others stared with wide eyes. Maybe humans don't visit often, Leo thought. Finally, he reached a massive open hall. Thousands of guests sat in rows, facing a raised platform where a beautiful alien woman stood, tall, elegant, with smooth, lavender skin and glowing silver eyes. She wore a long flowing gown made of shifting colors like liquid light. A delicate crown rested on her head. This was Princess Orlin, though Leo didn't know her name yet. The music shifted. A priest-like figure stepped forward and raised a glowing staff. "It is time. The princess shall now choose her bondmate." Leo scratched his head. "Bondmate?" Just then, one of the guards gently guided him forward. "Please, stand here." Leo nodded, thinking it was just a guest spot. He stepped onto a circular stone near the front of the platform. Princess Orlin looked out across the hall. According to her people's tradition, she could choose any nobleman, warrior, or visitor from another world as her husband, if she believed he was worthy. The old prophecy said she would recognize him by his calm eyes and humble clothes. And then she saw Leo, a man in a simple gray uniform, standing calmly, looking confused but kind. Her heart skipped a beat. She stepped forward, raised her hand, and pointed at him. "I choose him." The crowd gasped. Some stood, some cheered, some simply stared. Leo blinked. "Wait, what?" The priest raised his voice. "By the will of Princess Orlin, the ritual is complete. The bondmate is chosen." Leo's mouth dropped open. "Hold on. I think there's a mistake," a nearby noblewoman whispered. "The human was chosen? How unusual." A royal advisor tried to speak with Orlin. "Your Highness, this human..." "He may not know our customs." Orlin smiled gently. "It doesn't matter. I've made my choice." Leo turned to one of the guards. "I thought this was just a cultural visit. I didn't sign up to marry someone." The guard looked both awkward and nervous. "I'm sorry, sir. Once the princess chooses, it is law. To reject her would dishonor the royal family. It could cause a diplomatic incident." Leo suddenly felt hot. His hands went cold. This had to be a dream. He was just a technician. He fixed food processors. How did he end up being called a royal husband? He looked up at the princess. She was still watching him, her face soft and hopeful. In that moment, Leo realized something strange. She didn't look angry or controlling. She looked peaceful, like she had waited for this. Before he could say anything more, the priest stepped down and handed Leo a small pendant. You must wear this now. It binds you as consort to our princess. The pendant was shaped like a glowing spiral. When he touched it, it became warm. Then it floated to his chest and gently attached itself like a badge. The hall erupted in cheers. Musicians played. Dancers twirled. Food and flowers appeared like magic. Leo stood frozen. What just happened? He whispered to himself. Somewhere far above, back on Unity Post 7, his coworker looked at an empty terminal and muttered, "Told him not to get married." Leo sat on a velvet cushion inside a large glowing chamber. The ceiling above him sparkled like a field of stars. He stared at the floor, still in shock. Around him, soft music played and floating lanterns filled the air. The palace was beautiful, but Leo couldn't enjoy it. His head was spinning. "Okay," he said quietly. "Let's think. I came for a cultural visit. Now I'm married to an alien princess." The doors opened. 2 guards in golden armor stepped aside, and Princess Orlin entered. Her gown now shimmered in gentle blue tones, matching the calm in her eyes. She walked toward him with grace, but her steps were quiet and humble. Leo stood up fast. Your Highness, I mean, Princess, I didn't mean for this to happen." Orlin smiled. "You may call me Orlin. You do not have to be afraid." "I'm not afraid," Leo lied, nervously scratching his head. "Just confused." She nodded. "I understand. Our traditions must feel strange to you." Leo looked around the room. "Strange is one word. Where I'm from, people usually date before marriage, sometimes for years." Orlin gently tilted her head. "We believe in fate. Our ancient writings speak of a time when one not of our world would appear, quiet in voice, kind in heart, and would be chosen by a princess to shape a better future. I believed it was only a story until I saw you." Leo froze. "You picked me because of a story?" She stepped closer. "I chose you because you were not trying to impress anyone. You stood calmly while others showed off. You were real. And you didn't bow out of fear. You looked at me like an equal." Leo couldn't deny it. He hadn't planned any of this. He had just been himself. "But still," he said, "I'm just a technician. I fix machines, not rule kingdoms." Orlin laughed softly. "You do not need to rule. You only need to walk beside me." Just then, an advisor entered. His face was stern, his silver robe heavy with medals. "Princess Orlin," he said, bowing. "Some nobles are raising concerns about your choice. They do not believe a human should be part of our royal line." She stayed calm. "Let them speak. I do not choose based on fear." Leo stepped back. "Maybe it's better if I leave. I don't want to cause problems." Orlin looked at him carefully. "If you leave, the ritual bond breaks. It will shame both me and our people. The nobles will say I acted foolishly. Our allies may see it as weakness. But if you stay, even for a short time, it will bring peace." Leo sighed. He felt like the entire weight of an alien planet was on his shoulders. "I never thought one trip could change so much," he muttered. The advisor looked at Leo. "You don't have to live as a prince. Just be present for now. Smile at the events. Sit beside her. That will be enough." Leo rubbed his face. "Fine. I'll stay for a few days. Just don't call me royal consort. It feels weird." Orlin smiled again. "Thank you, Leo." The next morning, Leo was given traditional robes, silver with blue trim. He met ministers, guards, and even alien children who gave him flowers. Orlin stayed close, gently guiding him through their customs. He watched her speak to her people. She was confident, kind, and thoughtful. He began to understand why her people loved her, but not everyone was happy. In a dark hall, several noble lords whispered, "This human has no history, no bloodline. He's a joke. We must watch him. If he weakens the throne, we remove him." Back in the palace garden, Leo and Orlin walked beside a stream with glowing fish. "I still don't get it," Leo said. "Why didn't you pick one of your own people?" She paused. "Because I've known them all my life, and not one ever looked at me without wanting something. Power, position, or fame. But you didn't want anything." Leo chuckled. "I wanted a day off, that's all." Orlin laughed too. It was a soft, genuine sound. They sat under a tall tree, its leaves humming a low tune in the wind. "Leo," she said gently, "I know you didn't expect any of this, and you don't have to stay forever, but I'm glad you're here now." Leo looked at her. She wasn't just a princess. She was a person, with pressure, responsibilities, and hopes of her own. He gave a small smile. "I'll try my best not to mess up your royal wedding." Orlin reached out and gently touched his hand. "You already made it perfect." That night, a shadow moved through the palace. Someone was watching, waiting. The real trouble hadn't begun yet. Leo woke up to the sound of soft music. A gentle light poured through the tall crystal windows of his guest chamber in the palace. For a moment, he forgot where he was. Then he sat up and remembered everything. The ceremony, the princess, the pendant on his chest. He touched the glowing symbol gently. It still pulsed with a soft blue light. "I'm actually married to an alien princess," he whispered to himself. A soft knock came at the door. A servant entered and bowed. "Sir Leo, Her Highness awaits you in the royal dining hall." Leo rubbed his eyes and got dressed in the robe they had given him. As he walked through the palace, he noticed guards were always nearby. Some smiled at him. Others watched him with silent judgment. Inside the dining hall, Orlin sat at a long table with bowls of strange fruits and shining drinks. She looked up and smiled warmly. "Good morning, Leo." "Morning," Leo replied, sitting across from her. "Is it always this quiet in the palace?" "Only during peace," she said. "But I fear that peace may not last." Leo looked concerned. "What do you mean?" Orlin's face turned serious. "Some of the noble houses are not pleased with my choice. They say I broke tradition. They whisper that you are unfit." Leo sighed. "I didn't even ask to be here. I just followed a message." "I know," she replied gently. "But your presence means something greater than you. No, if I let them undo our bond, they will gain power. I will lose trust, and my people may lose hope." Leo stared at his plate. He was just a worker from Earth, not a politician or a warrior. But now he was part of something big, too big to ignore. Before he could respond, a royal guard entered, quickly. "Your Highness, there has been an explosion in the west courtyard. No injuries, but it was clearly a warning." Orlin stood at once. "Seal the palace. Begin the investigation. Make no accusations until we are sure." The guard nodded and left. Leo stood too. "Do you think it was because of me?" "Maybe," she said. "Or maybe it was already coming. But now we must be careful." Later that day, Leo walked with Orlin through the royal garden. The glowing trees and singing flowers did little to calm his nerves. "I'm not used to this," Leo admitted. "On my station, the biggest problem was a broken water pipe. Now I'm being watched like I'm carrying a weapon." Orlin glanced at him with a soft smile. "You are. Your heart. Your will. The fact that you are different frightens them." Leo shook his head. "I didn't ask for any of this." "Neither did I," she said quietly. "But we are here, now." As they walked, a young alien girl ran up to them holding a small handmade pendant. "For you, Sir Leo," she said with a bright smile. Leo took it, touched. "Thank you." The child ran off, waving. Orlin watched him. "Some already see you as one of us." Later that night, a formal dinner was held for the visiting ambassadors. Leo sat beside Orlin, trying not to fidget as different alien diplomats greeted them. He smiled politely, spoke when spoken to, and tried not to spill anything on his robe. Then a strange moment happened. As a tray of drinks passed by, Leo noticed a shimmer, something moving in the air. A blur. He stood up suddenly and grabbed Orlin's arm. "Get down!" She ducked just as a sharp bolt of energy struck the back wall behind her seat. Guards shouted. Panic spread. Leo stood in front of Orlin, eyes searching for the source. The guards quickly caught a cloaked figure running toward the exit. The would-be attacker was tackled and dragged away. Orlin stood behind Leo, her hand still on his shoulder. "You saved me." Leo turned around, breathing hard. "I just saw something. Instinct, I guess." The royal advisor came rushing over. "We are increasing security immediately. Sir Leo, your quick action prevented a tragedy." That night, news of the event spread across the kingdom. The human consort had protected the princess with his own body. Some who doubted him now began to respect him. Others grew more jealous. In a hidden chamber deep in the city, a noble lord slammed his hand on a table. He should have failed. That human should have fled. Another noble spoke coldly. Instead, he saved her. Now the people praise him. We must act soon, or we will lose everything. Back in the palace, Orlin and Leo sat quietly in the garden again. She poured him a warm drink and handed it with both hands. "You didn't have to protect me," she said gently. "I didn't think," Leo replied. "I just moved." She looked at him with soft eyes. "That's why I chose you." Leo looked into her eyes. For the first time, he wasn't nervous. He wasn't confused. He was certain of one thing. He didn't want to leave. "Maybe I'm not ready to be a royal husband," he said. "But I won't run." Orlin smiled. "Then we stand together." The palace was quieter than usual. Even the usual chatter of the guards felt tense. Leo could feel the weight of eyes on him everywhere he went. The ceremony was over, but the real challenge was just beginning. "Stay close," Orlin whispered, as they walked through the grand halls. "These halls hide many secrets." Leo nodded, gripping the glowing pendant around his neck. It was more than a symbol now. It was a promise. Suddenly, alarms rang. Red lights flashed. Soldiers ran past them, shouting orders. "Attack!" one guard yelled. "Intruders in the West Wing." Leo's heart pounded. "We need to find safety." Orlin's face was calm but fierce. "This way." They hurried through winding corridors and secret passageways. The palace was a maze, but Orlin knew every turn. At the main hall, a group of masked figures stood ready to strike. They were armed with strange weapons that hummed with energy. Leo's mind raced. He had no training for this kind of fight, but years working on the station had taught him one thing: think fast. He grabbed a metal pipe from a nearby stand and swung at the nearest attacker. The pipe connected with a sharp clang, knocking the figure back. Orlin summoned her guards, who charged forward. But the attackers were quick and clever. They scattered and disappeared into side halls. "We must split up," Orlin said. "Find the leader." Leo hesitated. "Alone?" "No," she replied. "Together." They followed footprints and broken glass to the royal garden. There, they found the leader, a tall, alien man in black robes, eyes burning with anger. "So, the human dares to stand with the princess," the man sneered. Leo raised his pipe. "I'm just trying not to get hurt." The man laughed. "You will fall." Orlin stepped forward. "Your fight is with me." Suddenly the leader pulled out a glowing dagger. He lunged at Orlin. Leo jumped in front of her, blocking the attack with his pipe. The dagger broke with a flash. The leader growled and grabbed Leo's arm, twisting it hard. Pain shot through Leo's shoulder, but he held firm. Orlin raised her hand, and a wave of blue light pushed the attacker back. Guards arrived, surrounding the enemy. The leader snarled but was quickly taken away. Later, Leo sat with Orlin in the quiet garden. His arm was bandaged, but his spirit was strong. "You saved me," Orlin said softly. "No," Leo replied, smiling through the pain. "We saved each other." She looked at him with gratitude and something deeper. "You've changed everything," she said. Leo shook his head. "I'm just a human. You're the princess." "Not anymore," she said. "We are partners now." The palace. Halls buzzed with news of the attack. Some nobles whispered fearfully. Others whispered hope. Leo's unexpected bravery had won hearts, but enemies remained. In the shadows of the city, rebels gathered. "We must act before the human grows stronger," one said. "But how?" another asked. "He saved the princess, with no training." A sharp-eyed man smiled. "That is why we must be clever. We will wait." Back in the palace, Orlin and Leo prepared for a formal meeting with the Council of Nobles. "This will decide the future," Orlin told Leo. He nodded. "I'll stand with you." The council chamber was cold and grand. Tall figures sat on raised seats watching them carefully. One noble spoke. "Princess, this human is brave, but he is not of our blood. How can we trust him?" Orlin looked at Leo. "Trust is earned, not given by birth." Leo stepped forward. "I may not be noble, but I know loyalty and courage. I will prove myself." The room was silent. Then slowly some nobles nodded. After the meeting, Orlin smiled. "You did well." Leo felt a new confidence growing. "I'm ready to fight for you," he said. She took his hand. "And I am ready to face the future with you." But as they left the chamber, a shadow crossed the hall. The rebellion was only just beginning. The morning sun cast a soft glow over the palace gardens. Birds sang sweet melodies, and the air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers. For the first time in many days, peace seemed to return. Leo stood beside Princess Orlin on a balcony, overlooking the city. The people below gathered in celebration. Flags waved, children laughed, and music filled the streets. "It looks like they accept us now," Leo said, smiling. Orlin nodded, her silver eyes shining with hope. "The people have seen your courage. You are no longer just a visitor. You are their consort, their symbol of strength and unity." Leo looked down at the pendant on his chest, still glowing softly. "I never imagined my life would change so much, from a simple technician to this." Orlin took his hand gently. "You have done more than you know." Inside the great hall, the royal council gathered once more. This time the mood was different. Nobles who had once doubted Leo now spoke with respect. A wise elder spoke. "This human's actions have brought peace where there was fear. He stands, not because of blood, but because of heart." Another nodded. "Let us welcome him fully, for the good of our people." Orlin smiled proudly. "Thank you all. Together, we will build a better future." In the days that followed, Leo learned much about Valoria's customs and people. He met scholars who taught him their history, warriors who trained him in defense, and artists who shared their music and stories. Each day, his bond with Orlin grew stronger. They shared quiet moments under the stars, laughed at simple jokes, and planned ways to help their people thrive. One evening, as they walked by a peaceful lake, Leo stopped and looked at Orlin. "Do you think I can really be part of this world?" She smiled softly. "You already are." He took a deep breath. "I'm glad I didn't run away." "Neither am I," she whispered. But life was not without challenges. Some enemies still lurked in the shadows, waiting for a chance to strike. One night, as Leo patrolled the palace grounds, he noticed unusual movement near the gates. With quick steps, he approached, catching two figures attempting to sneak inside. He called the guards, who swiftly captured the intruders. Later, Orlin praised him. "Your vigilance saves lives." Leo smiled. "I'm learning fast." The royal wedding, once an accident, had transformed into a true partnership. The people of Vyloria celebrated not only their princess but the human who stood by her side. Together, Leo and Orlin faced the future, not as strangers from different worlds but as husband and wife, leaders and friends. Leo had never dreamed this was possible, but now with courage and kindness he had found a new home among the stars.